This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2021 No Boundaries, No Bow model 16.8. Yes, 16.8. Okay. So you can see obviously it has the off-the-road tires and suspension, so it's higher off the ground. Okay. You got a power awning on this with LED strip. Keep in mind this is a baffle for the range hood vent, so you can pull this free like that, so this baffle flaps freely. Before you turn on the fan to vent to the outside, you always want this open. Otherwise, keep it shut like that when you're traveling and in storage and that sort of thing. Okay. You can step on these fenders as steps, of course. Let me look in here. This is well, of course, this is a sprayer here that plugs in. This is a reducer for your power. That's the crank for your stabilizer jacks. Okay. Your dump hose, you got a griddle with a rail that hangs on the track right here. You can see. Also, it plugs in right here at this LP quick connect fitting. So you have to plug it in, of course, to get the to draw LP from this trailer system. Also, I can see in here you've got a power inverter back there, just so you know. You can see it glowing green back there. Now, inverter, I'm sure you know this, but anyway, the inverter converts DC to AC power. So 12-volt battery power to 110, 120 AC. Okay. You also have a power converter on this trailer, which does the opposite. It goes from AC to DC, so it goes from 120 AC to 12-volt DC. So we'll talk more about that as we get inside. Okay, now you have a LP tank, deep cycle marine battery, and a kill switch for the battery. Okay. The reason you'd want to kill the battery is when you put it in storage, for example, you can shut it off. But all other times you want it on, because you want the tow vehicle to be charging the battery, and you want the converter charging it when you're plugged in, that sort of thing. Okay. All right. This is your water heater on the outside. So this works on both LP and 120 AC. So keep in mind that there's a switch right here. You can see the rocker switch there. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here. So to turn that on, to run it on electricity, you have to turn that on. Keep in mind also, you always want to make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn it on. Never dry fire it. This is a gas valve here. The gas switch is inside the trailer, and also this is where you drain it from right here. That's a 1 1/16 6-point socket. So you need that plus a 6-inch or so extension and a T-bar or ratchet so you can get it in and out. That's an anode rod attached to the back of that drain plug. So you got low point drains here. That's just the lowest point of the plumbing. That's your fresh water drain behind it. Okay. Now, the most common way to get water to the trailer here is through the city water hookup. So if you've got city water where you're camping, just put the hose on there and you're all set, ready to go. Now if you're camping someplace that does not have city water, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank right here and use the onboard pump to pump the water. Okay. This is your slide room here. So this slide, just so you know, it's called a Schwintek. It's owned by Lippert now, but it's still referred to as a Schwintek by most people. So that's a Schwintek slide out. Okay. So here are your dump valves right here. Gray on the left, black on the right. Black is for the black tank, which is toilet water and waste. Gray is for the gray tank, which is sink and shower water. Okay. Always dump the black first and then use the gray to kind of flush it out. Then, after you're done with that, you keep the black valve open. You can hook your dump station hose right on here, the black tank flush. Turn it on and it'll flush out your black tank really well. Also, that's for cable or satellite through. That's your 30 amp, 30-foot power cord. You got a ladder to get up on the roof, which is great because you need to inspect the roof every 90 days. You're just going to get up there and look for cracking or separation where you see sealant, or you're going to look at damage to the vent covers or roofing material by low branches or road debris flipping up there, whatever. Just give it a good inspection, and if you see any issues, have it taken care of immediately. Also, this is pre-wired for a backup camera, as you can see right there. And this is a sprayer, that sprayer plug can plug in right there. Okay, let's go inside. First thing, now this is the power converter here. We talked about the power inverter, which was in the front compartment, which converts battery power to AC electricity. This does the opposite. Most trailers have this. This converts 110 AC. You see you got regular circuit breakers right here like you'd see at home. And they're also labeled, right? So that's 120 AC. You can also, and then that converts this over to 12 volt DC on this side. These are 12 volt fuses, right? So that, and they're also all labeled right down there. So if those fuses were to blow, they'll light up and you can see them through glowing through the perforation. And also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery needs, and it'll always keep it charged up. It'll, if it needs, if it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs, and if it's charged, it'll just trickle a couple up there, but it'll keep it charged. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. So, the cooktop, obviously you just turn it on and light it. The refrigerator, let's see what we got here. This is a gas absorption refrigerator, so it runs on LP gas. Wait a minute, oh right here. It runs on LP gas or 110 AC. Okay, so up here, you set your temperature right here. You set your mode here, so that's the most important thing, is the mode. So you can see right there it says AC, so that would just run an AC electricity. It's hard to see it on this camera because it kind of looks like it lights up the whole thing. There's LP gas, running on LP gas, and that's auto AC. That's what you want almost always. The reason it's called auto is because it automatically seeks out electricity. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. If you have a power failure at the campground during the day or night, it'll sense that and it'll automatically switch over to gas. So that's the most common way. And of course you can set your temperature there. You're generally going to have it up all the way, except when it gets cold outside. Then you might have to back it off. Some attachments for your roof rack, some straps and things. Actually a toilet chemical sample there also. You got a 12 volt hookup for your TV, and you got a 110 if you need it. And those are your cable and antenna hookups there. Okay. You got a vacuum, which is great. You can sweep right in front of there and step on and turn it on. It'll suck the dirt in right off the floor. It's a really cool thing. It makes it very easy. Also, your table folds down so you can store it. You just push. Let me see if I can find it here. This yellow lever right here, you just push it to the right, and you can collapse it. Okay, this couch jackknifes flat, so you can turn it into a bed if you need to. This is your power. I told you it had a converter on it and an inverter. Well, this is the inverter here. It's on right now, but if you're not inverting power, there's really no reason to have it on. So I'm going to shut it off. You hold it in there for a second. I mean, you hold your finger on the button. To turn it on and off, it takes a bit for it to react. So right now it's off. So there's no reason to be inverting power from your battery right now because you're plugged into AC power. There's no reason to do it. So the only time you're going to turn that on is to invert. Now, only one socket in this trailer is going to be hooked to to the power inverter. That's because an inverter, when you're inverting power from DC to AC, it's kind of lossy in the sense that you're not going to be able to run as many appliances on it. For example, you just be able to run a plug or one appliance, something like that. So keep in mind, that's more limited in what it can do. Hopefully that makes sense to you. That's the emergency window there, of course. Your thermostat is very simple. It works like any other thermostat. That's the mode bar right there. You hit it to light it up. Then you just go through it. Fan, high, low, cool, which is air conditioning. Try to always run it on auto. High auto is the most common. We just went past that. That's heat. So when they talk about the fan, they're just talking about the air conditioner running without the compressor. That's just circulates air. That's all. Okay, now this device down here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be lit up like it is. If not, you get it serviced. The thing is, this will go off, and if you get carbon monoxide buildup or LP gas buildup, here, let me set it off for you with the test here. Oops. Oops, I just had it. There we go. So carbon monoxide test, LP test coming up. Okay, so if it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. Okay. I told you about the range hood and about the baffle outside. There's the fan and the light there. Okay. Alrighty. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget anything here. So let's go in the bathroom. Now always run the fan with the shower to pull the humidity out. The sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Here, as you can see. Except this one has another feature to it. This device here is called a shower miser. Okay? So what this does is it circulates water, it recirculates it around in a circle. So, in a loop. So the idea is when you're waiting for the water to get hot for your shower, it's normally just taking good water and dumping it down the drain, right? So you're wasting good water, plus you're wasting storage space in your gray tank. So with this, you turn it on like this, and it circles, it circulates the water around and around. So you're just heating up the same water. You're not wasting it. And when this changes color, you'll see a dramatic change in the blue. You'll know it the minute you look at it. You know that means it's hot. So once it changes color, you just go to regular mode, and it works just like a normal shower. But it's just a way to heat up the water, get it in the pipes, and get it to the temperature you want before you start wasting water. Okay, so it's a shower miser. Every appliance and attachment in this trailer has a literature in the packet, right? So you can always refer to that. Plus, you can always go to manufacturers' videos and look at it, and you can get an idea. You can get as much information as you want. Is what I'm saying. Some people aren't interested in doing that. Other people are, obsessed with it. So whatever you want to do, you can always get more information from the internet for this stuff here. Okay. The other thing is the toilet. If you don't know this, you can't use it dry. There's the flush pedal right there. So dry. I'm talking about the black tank, which is directly below. The reason water is coming out right now is because it's pumping water out of the fresh water tank. You can see the pump is on at this point. So anyway, you pull into the campground, and your black tank's going to be dry, obviously, because it's already been dumped. So you pull in there, you hook up your power and your water. You'll come in here with your chemical. You'll dump one dose of chemical in the bowl, then you'll step on the pedal, and you'll run about a gallon or so of water into the black tank. There's no way to tell exactly what that is. Some people use more water. It's up to you. The bottom line is you can't use this dry. It has to have water, otherwise the smell will be memorable, and it'll also get clogged up. So always start off with water and chemical in it when it's dry. Okay. So that's the pump. So turn the water heater on gas is right like that. Okay. I showed you about the switch outside for electricity, right? To check your levels, your battery is charged, fresh water's got a third in it, black is empty, gray is empty. Okay. Your heated holding tanks, all your tanks are heated, so you can turn on the fresh water, gray, black, whichever, or all three of them, and it heats up the tank so they don't freeze when it starts to get cold out. And this is your solar controller here. That even rhymes there. Look at that, solar controller. Alright, so it says battery type AGM, which is already not right. It's actually flooded, but I'll change that for you. Let's see if it works this way. It's been a while since I've done it. Yep, wet, so I'll just let it lock back in place here. There we go. So you got a wet battery. So right now your battery has 14.7 volts in it, which is great. The amp, or let's see here, let me go through this a bit. Yeah, so this is what you're getting right now from the sun. 6.8 amps are being sent to your battery for storage. So keep that in mind. That's good actually. Also, if you push it again, you have 15.9 amp hours left on it, right? And then back to 14.7 volts. So that's how you tell what's happening with the battery and the solar panel. Now, keep in mind, this does invert power and all that. I advise you to add a second battery and hook them together as 12 volt. You're just doubling the storage capacity. So keep that in mind. You can do that, and you'll have double the storage capacity in your battery, which is much better when you're inverting power. Okay? Your salesman didn't tell you that because they probably don't understand that, but okay. But it'll still work fine the way it is, don't get me wrong. It just gives you more power and storage. Okay, well, I think that covers it. So let me look around here. Yes, okay. All right, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I told you about inspecting the roof. That's very important. Any place you see caulk or seal it from the factory, no matter where it's at, the sides or the top, you keep an eye on it. If you see cracking or separation, it's time to be touched up, okay? So make sure you keep after that. Like I said, that's not this trailer. It's every trailer ever made. It's, you know, the most important thing you can do as a trailer owner, obviously, is winterizing it so it doesn't freeze and inspecting the roof for damage or maintenance issues, okay? Thank you very much.